Welcome back, Holotable Heroes, to another Galaxy of Heroes video. I am your bald-headed boy Scribble, and it's Monday morning, so that means one thing and one thing only. Let's get galactically challenged. We are once again blessed by the rather wonderful and glorious Galactic Challenge in which we get to use the fabled Ewoks of your deepest dark nightmares. I hate Ewok Galactic Challenges, guys. They're just dumb because the modifiers are usually counterproductive. So we have the Dune Sandstorm modifier, which essentially means that every single turn everybody's going to be getting a damage over time which can't be resisted. They can be cleansed though. Our Ewoks have got booby traps, which gives them additional counter chance and speed, both of which do not help for this particular Galactic Challenge. In fact, they go so far as to hurt this Galactic Challenge, so that one kind of sucks. And then whenever an enemy targets an Ewok while attacking out of turn, they get stunned, which is fine and everything, but it doesn't do enough. Do you know what I mean? The enemy has got swgoh, which is a really annoying Jawa modifier, whereby they recover all of their health and protection, or all of their protection, when thermal detonators explode. More thermal detonators get passed, they gain a bunch of stacking stats, they gain additional protection, all this nonsense, it's rubbish. Our feats then, we need to win with a full team of Ewoks, we need to complete the battle after attacking out of turn 20 or more times, and we need to win the battle with no tanks in our squad. Now all of these feats are very, very doable. The issue is around your Ewok team. Now you don't need a massively powerful Ewok team. I would say gear 12 at the very minimum. In particular, the more geared that your Paplu is, the better off you're going to be. So, the first and foremost, you don't want a leader. You don't want leadership. Specifically, the leadership for Ewoks always give additional turn meter, and turn meter is a bad thing for you. You don't want to be taking turns. You want the enemy to be taking turns. So, you go in with no leadership. I've usually just thrown in Paplu. Here is the king. You do need a Zeta on him if you want to red box this, guys. There's no way around it. You need this Don't Hold Back Zeta, which makes him recover protection when he gains a status effect, okay? That's going to keep us in the game. Now, modding is very, very important. I don't have the mod set up here. I will throw it up on screen in a minute. Essentially, you want to try and mod for as little speed as possible, as much protection as possible, and as much defense as possible. The best way to do that is to go with defense sets and protection primaries. If you can't manage that, then try to go for something else. I mean, health is almost counterintuitive here, because health is going to increase the damage that we take from both thermal detonators and from the damage over times. So try not to mod for too much health, just as much defense and protection as you can. Defense will actually mitigate some of the damage from thermal detonators as well. So very important to have that. Let's take a look at the mods I was using. The important mods to look at are Paplu's mods up here. He's the guy that is going to survive. You can see we've gone for all defense sets or protection primaries where we can, and just as much defense. Yes, he's got some speed here, but you really don't want to try and get much speed, if any at all. Mine is at 186 with 82k protection, and where is the armor? Just under 60%. Everybody else you want to mod as similarly as you possibly can. I've tried to minimize speed where it's all possible. There's only 49 here on Ewok Elder. We've got just protections where we can. Same again over here on Logray. You don't even want potency. It doesn't really matter. You could have potency here, but it's not important. I'll be truthfully honest with you. You're not really looking to decrease the enemy's turn meter or put days on them or anything like that. Again, we've got Chief Chirper here with protection and protection and protection and defense, protection and offense over here because you have to. Just minimal speed as possible. The biggest we've got over here in total is a plus 87, I think. Plus 87 on Chief Chirper. Minimal speed, much defense, much protection, and pray for some decent RNG. That is the rule, okay? So there is a little bit of nuance about how we actually go about getting the completion done, and there is some RNG. So let's check it out. Alrighty, so Paplu lead, Logray, Elder, Chief Chirper, and Wicket. We're going to call to assist, calling Logray. That's going to pass us some tenacity up, which can be quite handy. Again, with Paplu over here, I am going to call the assist on Logray. It's going to give us that tenacity up, which is going to stop some of the debuffs at the very least. After that, you just want to do basics. You don't want to, put retribution on. It's awful. If your Elder gets ability blocked, it's annoying, but not the end of the world. So I'm gaining the foresight here just to try and avoid some of these AoEs that come out now. You're probably going to lose those units there, if your Elder survives, all the better. Now, with Paplu, and this is important, guys, you want to try and get that taunt up. That's actually going to slow him down, okay? Slowing him down is a good thing, and you want to save that second special later on in the match so that you can use it if Paplu gets heal immunity. The enemy Jawa Scavenger can place heal immunity on his AoE. If that happens, you need to cleanse it off Paplu, otherwise he will die. Apart from that, we're just using basics to slow everything down. You don't want to be calling to assists, you don't want to be gaining turn meter, you certainly don't want to be gaining retribution, and you got to hope you don't do too many counterattacks. So right there, if you saw that Jawa Scavenger just did that AoE, that has a chance to inflict heal immunity. If that happens, you have to cleanse it with Paplu's special, otherwise you will just straight up die. And you just got to wait it out. You see, we've got one more turn before we can actually use our cleanse. So the Jawas, when they tend to get to about 25-ish damage over times, they'll usually die. Heal immunity here, so you need to use that second special. That will cleanse it. After that, you want to get the taunt up so that you slow your Jawa down, your Ewok down, sorry. And then eventually, they die to dots. It is RNG based, guys. You can do certain things to help with it, but mostly it's RNG. So, what's next then, guys? We need to win after attacking out of turn 20 or more times, and we need to win with no tanks in our squad. Alrighty, for attacks out of turn and to win with no tanks, we are going in with a Mon Mothma team using Wat Tambor and OG Kylo Ren alongside Kyle Katarn and Biggs. Very, very weird team, I know, but essentially Mon Mothma is going to give us a bunch of the attacks out of turn, and Wat is there to place the weapons tech, or tank tech, sorry, over on OG Kylo Ren, and then the rest of it just doesn't matter. You just hit an auto and win. Essentially, Mon Mothma's characters there are just there to gain a bunch of attacks out of turn out the rip, just to make life a little bit easier. And Kylo Ren is going to just survive indefinitely. He takes reduced damage from percentile health effects, so stuff like thermal detonators, stuff like damage over times, basically don't really matter to him. I put the tank tech on him so that he can cleanse off any heal immunity that he might have, or ability blocks, or any of that, and he's just modded, as usual, for lots of protection and lots of defense, just like you did your Ewoks, and it should be absolutely fine. The fact that he's got retribution also helps just a little bit with getting those attacks out of turn, as you can see there, and you just sit back, relax, go make yourself a cup of coffee. This is far less RNG based than something like, you know, the Ewoks run was, so just have fun with it. Unfortunately, they do get a lot of stealth, which is why I like to use the Mon Mothma teams, just so that we get quite a lot of those attacks out of turn at the start, and that does help build up those attacks out of turn nicely. There we go, we do get some counterattacks at least. There we go. Keep on going, OG Cut. He just sits there and laughs at all these damage over times and all these thermal detonators. Truth be told, just has a jolly good time with it. Again, you just want to have him modded for defense sets, protection primaries, so that any damage that they do deal is going to be largely mitigated. And you just wait for it. Scavenger is always going to be the last person to bite the dust, as it were, but eventually we will get there. Kylo Ren just taking all these turns is great. Yeah, man. It's a shame, we don't really get to use OG Kylo very much anymore. And that'll do it, guys. That'll get your attacks out of turn. That will get you a win with no tanks as well. Now, I've already had the attacks out of turn done, so there you have it. If you can't get that to work, I do recommend you go in with a crew lead. Yes, he's a tank, but then you can get the rest of the battle done with your GLs or something like that. Alright, super, smashing, great. I hope this video was useful to you wonderful people at home. If it was, please do leave a quick like for your boy Scribble and consider subscribing to the boy. A big thank you to my wonderful, wonderful patrons. Thank you for your continued support. You guys are the balls. Until the very next video, guys, peace out, and may the Force be with you.